Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Cortez, your business doctor, and today we're going to continue our discussion about some lessons on policy, specifically business policy. So, tapusin lang natin because I was cut earlier na. So, moving on, I'm going to present now my PowerPoint. Okay, and tell me if you can view the PowerPoint now. Okay, so I hope you can view this one. Alright. So, a continuing series on strategic management, specifically discussion on business policy. Okay, and that is my name. I'm Dr. Cortez. And let's start with the learning outcomes or objectives. The lesson. So ito yung ating pagkatapos ng ating lesson today, ito yung ating gustong ma-achieve ng ating mga estudyante. For example, number 1, classify the different business policies and be able to differentiate each of them. But for this lesson, I'm going to concentrate on the importance of business policy. And those are the outcome to be achieved after the lesson, and these are the topics to be covered. Okay, so isa lang, no? The importance lang ba, no? The importance of business policy. So, a continuing lesson about this one. Okay. The first importance, pag mayroon tayong business policy, so once again, pag sinabi natin business policy, ito yung mga rules or guidelines na ginagamit natin sa ating business, different functional department ng ating negosyo, marketing department, finance department, production, sales department, HR department, IT, production. So marami tayong mga departments sa ating mga companies na. And each department dapat meron silang sariling business policy. Ito yung mga guide na sinusunod natin or guidelines or rules na sinusunod natin para ma-achieve natin yung overall strategic plan ng ating business. Once again, strategic plan are broader than policy or business policy. Malawak ang business plan. That is the system of the company na susundin. It covers many years, no? Ang gumagawa niyan ay yung the CEO of the company or the higher ups of the company, sila yung gumagawa. Whereas business policy is below the strategic management, ay mga ginagawa nating medyo mas mababa, no? Ginagawa ng mga middle manager sa loob ng isang company. And these are the business policy, no, na sinusunod natin para ma-achieve natin yung ating mga strategic management. The first one, policy is number 1, control. Ito yung importance, no? Kung meron tayong business policy, we can control the operation of the company. We can evaluate, we can correct, we can check, no? Yung ginagawa natin sa loob ng ating company. Okay, so basahin natin siya. Policy facilitates, specifically, no, business policy facilitates effective control on the working of the organization. Okay? Pag meron tayong planong ginagawa sa una, dapat natin siyang ma-correct, ma-control later on. Pag meron tayong ginagawa ng policy sa loob ng ating company, so it is a way of controlling. Kasi pag meron hindi mga sumunod sa ating mga policy, we can correct yung mga operation or the workings within the organization. For example, no, ang ating strategic management or strategic plan is to reduce the receivables of the company. Okay, or to minimize the receivables of the company. Walang masyadong pautang, no? As much as possible dapat tayo palaging mas marami tayong cash kaysa mga pautang natin. Okay, that is this strategic management of the company. Now, paano makukuha, paano ma-achieve yung strategic plan na minimizing receivable. Gagawa kasi ilalim ng mga policy. Okay? Example, isang policy para sa receivable. The company will refrain from accepting check. Huwag masyadong tumanggap ng mga check eh. Okay? That is the first one. The second policy, para ma-achieve yung zero receivable, dapat hindi lalampas ng 30 days yung mga pautang ng isang company to reduce the receivable. Now, how do you control? Paano nagagamit yung policy na yan to control? O siyempre, pag mayroon nakikita mga receivable na lumampas ng 30 days, okay, ibig sabihin, that is unfavorable for the company. So we can evaluate, we can check, we can correct. Na huwag masyadong yung mga 40 days na yan, ibig sabihin, tutukan yan kasi lumampas sila ng 30 days. So we can control. Ibig sabihin, yung mga taong in charge dun sa mga receivable na yan, inabot ng 40 days, no? We can evaluate them, we can control them na next time, huwag masyadong damihan, huwag masyadong palalampas. Ibig sabihin, you have a bad performance kasi hindi mo nasunod yung 30 days natin na limit for the receivable. O siguro, huwag natin i-promote yan kasi hindi nakasunod sa 30 days. No? Yung collector na yan or receivable in charge na person, o huwag natin bigyan ng maraming incentive kasi hindi sila nakasunod sa ating policy na 30 days. And that is your way of controlling, no? Yung ating yung mga tao. Pwede mo siyang evaluate based sa kanilang mga performance or based sa kanilang mga working. Kasi meron tayong policy na dapat nilang sinunod. Alright? Another one, no? Strategic management sa taas. Meron tayong professional development. Okay, we should improve professionally yung ating mga employee. That is very broad, no? Now sa ilalim, dapat meron kang mga policy gagawin para ma-achieve natin yung professional growth ng ating mga empleyado. Right? Unang policy. Lahat ng empleyado dapat ay meron silang trainings or webinars na dapat in-attendan every 6 months. Okay? That is policy, no? HR. Pag nasunod natin yan, yung ating strategic plan sa taas na professional growth ng mga employees natin, pwede nating ma-achieve because of that policy, right? Now, how do you control? Paano kinokontrol yung mga tao with this policy? Take note, guys, no? Policy natin is to employees should have trainings or webinars, seminars attended every 6 months. Okay? So, dapat lahat ay susunod doon. Now, how do we control? May mga empleyado na hindi makakasunod dyan. No? Example, may empleyado na isang taon na pero wala pa rin in-attend ang webinars o mga seminars or training. Okay? So, how do you control them? Okay, so ipunin natin sila. Kayo, wala kayong masyadong incentive. Wala kayong promotion. Wala kayong dagdag sa sahod. You have a bad performance kasi meron kayong may deduction. No? Hindi kasi kayo nakasunod. Hindi kayo masipag maghanap ng mga webinars sa inyong attendan. Samantalang iba, in 6 months, naka-2, naka-3 webinars attended. No? So, meron silang incentive. Alright? So, based on that, you can evaluate the performance of your employees. Yan. That is one way of controlling. Ayan ang maganda sa policy natin. Pag meron kang policy na printed or published or posted sa manual ng ating mga company, no? Yan ang pinaka-Bible natin. Alright? Nababalikan natin yan kung may mga discrepancy or hindi nakasunod, okay? Or to promote or to evaluate, doon tayo titingin sa ating mga policy. So para sa standard policy natin, okay? But that is when we're controlling yung ating mga empleyado. Okay. Number 2, importance ng business policy natin. Effective communication. Okay, basahin natin siya. Okay, aking gumagalaw, sumasayaw. Okay. Generally, policies or business policies are written and well-drafted statement sa loob ng isang company. Ang maganda sa policy natin, siyempre, kung yan ay hindi nakasulat or mahirap hanapin, so hindi mo kagad mapapakita sa mga employees mo, no? So a policy should be written. Meron ka talaga dapat na binubuklat or manual, no, ng iyong company. Pag mayroong nagkamali or you should referring to your policy, meron kang titin kagad. Written, and that should be well drafted. Hindi basta-bastang yan. Hindi basta-bastang sinulat, pinag-isipan talaga yan kasi yan pinaka-bible natin sa sa ating business, okay? So this policy written, no, is a way of communicating. Hindi natin araw-araw sinasabi or sinasabi sa ating employees ang ating mga policy. Basta meron silang hawak, no, na policy or manual, that is a way of communication. Hindi naman sila sinasabihin natin palagi, basta mayroon kang hawak and that is your responsibility para basahin and understand yung statement of policy sa loob ng isang company. Alright, and hence there is not a remote chance of confusion or miscommunication. Very clear, naka-black and white siya, no? Isa lang tinitingnan natin dito. Isa lang yung ating ginagamit natin policy. That is standard policy para sa lahat. Yung hawak-hawak kong policy or for example, employees manual na nandoon ng mga policy natin or student manual na nandoon ng mga student policy. Isa yan ay hawak ng lahat ng empleyado or lahat ng estudyante sa loob ng isang company. Okay? So walang confusion, isa lang hawak natin. Walang miscommunication, nakasulat kasi yan. Pag sinasalita kasi medyo magkakalimutan mo pa, no? Pag binobroadcast, hindi mo kinakabisado yan. Hindi mo kabisado lahat yan. So ang maganda, ang ating mga policy ay written. Okay? Kahit makalimutan yan, siyempre, kung sino nagbabasa, isa lang ang binabasa nilang lahat, no? Pag sinasalita kasi, araw-araw gawin natin, no? Nakakalimutan, baka mali na yung kwan. Mali na yung sinasabi ng iba, nadadaga na, babawasan, right? Pero pag nakasulat yan, lahat ay may hawak na policy. So walang confusion, walang miscommunication. And by setting policies the management ensures that decision made will be consistent and in the best interest of the organization. One policy applies to all employees, na walang pinipili. Okay? Kung sinabing, may policy ditong kwan, anong gagawin sa mga tardiness or absences? Okay, isang buklatan na page 27 for example. Kung nandun lahat. Okay, lahat ng may absences and tardiness is lang reference ko. Page 27 ng aking manual or ating policy. Okay? So, ibig sabihin yan, the manager is now consistent. Isa lang pinanggagalingan ng lahat ng rules, lahat ng policy ng company. It applies to all. Okay? So, walang confusion, walang miscommunication. Okay? At yan yung word ng company, yan ang word ng company sa lahat ng mga empleyados. Isang basahan lang, pag binabasa mo yung policy, ang kausap mo, yung gumawa ng policy na yan. Yung CEO ng company. Effective communication. Okay, moving on. The third importance kung bakit magandang meron tayong business policy is number 3, clarity. Okay. So policies clarifies the viewpoint of the management for the purpose of running a particular activities. Kumaga, magkaliwanagan na nga tayo. Ito yung nakalagay sa ating sa ating policies, sa ating kung bakit hindi naintindihan to. Okay? And I will make myself clear. Policy natin sinusunod, lahat ng kailangan nyo ay nandiyan dyan. Okay? That is very clear. Walang labis, walang kulang, no? Yung ating policy. Now, the purpose of this policy, siyempre, no, is for smooth running or operation of a company. Hindi naman yan sinisingle out ng isang empleyado, no? Na pag tinamaan ka, that is a given. Talagang tatamaan ka kung mali, no? But the purpose, the ultimate goal kung bakit meron kong policy is to improve the operation of the company. Okay? Example, tardiness, no? So hindi naman sinisingle out at pinaparusahan ng isang employee, no? Binigay yung policy sa kanya para next time around walang late, walang tardiness, no? So mas maganda yung productivity kasi pag palabas na hindi ka masyadong productive, diba? So dapat ini-impose ang policy na yan, okay? And policy should be imposed naka-blindfold. Ibig sabihin walang kinikilingan, walang tinitingnan kung sinong tamaan, be it, no? Kung sinong tamaan, talagang lahat naman itatamaan eh, hindi lang naman ikaw. Okay, so the fourth importance of business policy. So once again guys, ang business policy ay mga rules or guidelines na sinusunod natin sa loob ng isang organization, at lahat ng department ay meron silang kanya-kanyang mga policy na sinusunod. The fourth one is business policy motivates people, or it is a way of motivating people, or pag mayroon kang business policy, no, may mangyaring motivation sa loob ng ating company. So let's read this one. Policy enables the line managers to be self-reliant. Okay, once again, ang gumagawa ng policy natin dito ay medyo mas mababa na, kasi sabi natin, di ba, the strategic management ang gumagawa ay yung pinakamataas sa company, the CEO or the general manager, no, the board of directors. Now, ang mga policy medyo dinidelegate na yun sa mga lower middle managers like the line managers, no. Now, the importance of policy, it motivates the manager pag mayroon sa nakitang, pag alam niya, no, na siya ay pwedeng gumawa ng policy para sa kanyang department. Example, no, one individual heads the marketing. One manager heads the HR. One manager heads the production, finance, accounting, no. So merong different line managers sa mga different functions, and they were allowed to formulate their own policy sa kanilang mga department. Okay, now, pag ikaw yung manager na binigyan ng chance to formulate policy, so what can you feel? So normally, it is natural now. Pag alam mong meron kang right to make policy, na mamotivate ka, ba? I have this right to formulate policy para sa aking department, para sa buong company. Ibig sabihin yan, the manager, the CEO, the owner has a trust on me. So para motivated kang magtrabaho pa, kasi you feel that you are part of the company, self-reliant. Mas maganda yung self-reliant ka kaysa umaasa ka or kaysa dinidiktahan ka, di ba? Di masyadong, you're not that motivated, no? If you know that somebody's dictating the policy, somebody's imposing a policy para sundin mo, di masyadong motivated doon. In contrast, ganun. Okay, they take the decision on their own in the confined border of the policy. So they can decide. They have the right to decide for the company, for the department, but within a certain limit. Kaya mong you can decide na kaya mong gusto mong gawin, kaya lang within the policy. That is not professional. Okay? Dapat mayroon pa ring limit, and that is the policy. But the important thing, no, you can make your own decision. Kaya lang, certain limit lang. Right? This raises their confidence and motivates them. Siyempre, sinasabi natin kanina, no, pag ikaw ay wow, meron kang self-confidence, no? mas mabuboost ang confidence mo. So ang gagawin nyo guys, no, mga business owner later on, you give the chance or you delegate some of your tasks sa inyong mga line managers below you para maging confident sila. So it boosted their motivation that you can delegate. Hindi mo inaako lahat. Mahirap yung inaako lahat eh. A well-drafted policy provides a pattern within which delegation of authority is possible. Okay, so sa inyong gagawin yung policy, so you should also make it sure na hindi dapat meron pa rin certain limit, okay, to avoid abuse of authority. Okay, meron pa rin mga abusive na managers pag nalaman nilang they have the power to decide i-policy, dapat meron kang certain limit pa rin. So that policy should be well crafted, dapat nakalagay doon black and white, no, ang limit, no, ng kanilang ng pag-delegate ang powers sa kanila. Ayan, so that is the importance. Number 4, it motivates the people who are allowed to make or formulate policy for his team or for the department of the company. Okay, so moving on, yung ating panlimang importance ng policy. Ayan. So number 5. This one is about policy review. So regular review of policy is a must, no? To see to it that the existing policies are relevant in the given situation. Okay, one importance is everything changes, no? Ang objectives natin nagbabago yan. Yung ating goal, nagbabago yan. Especially now, no, na napakabilis magbago because of technology, because of some factors like economic factors, environmental, social, and technological environment. Nagbabago lahat. Alright? So, ang policy naman ay hindi sa basta-basta pwedeng palitan, no? Kasi it can affect the transaction of the company. Okay, example, may policy ka na degradation yung ang credit sa mga customers mo. Hindi yan pwedeng basta-basta palitan kasi meron kang existing na mga customers eh. Pag ginawa mong biglang 15, magtatampo yung iba na nabigyan mo ng 30 days na credit. So hindi agaran na. Policy can be changed because of some review. Pag nag-review ka ng policy, that should be capable of being changed. Kasi changes are constant, no? Palaging meron dyan. Depende sa situation, depende sa environment. Kaya nga, chine-check palagi natin policy natin, no? I-review natin palagi ating policy. Kung di na sa masyadong relevant, we can modify, alter the policy depending on the business environment. Alright? O tulad dating ayan, may policy ka dati na cash. Okay? To reduce the receivable or to minimize receivable, dapat lahat ng benta should be cash basis. Dating policy yan. Now, hindi na sa masyadong relevant kasi kapag nagbentahan ka ngayon through online, hindi palaging kaliwaan ng bayad eh. Okay? So marami ka magiging customers kung meron kang iba-ibang platform na ginagamit like Paymaya, PayPal, and GCash. No? Hindi na masyadong COD or kaliwaan. In fact, no, nandun lang tayo sa cashless society na hindi na masyadong nagdadala ng pera. Okay, so dapat meron kang iba-ibang platform na pwede yung gamitin at mas marami kang magiging mga customers, right? Okay, so another thing, no? Policy naman pagdating sa HR ng iyong ng company mo. Okay? Dati, may policy ka na they call this one. Yung sa mga height, dati uso yung ganun, mga advertising dati or mga classified ads dati. Employees applicant, ang height dapat ay 5'2", ang height dapat sa lalaki ay 5'5", ang height dapat sa babae ay 5'2". May mga ganun dati, But because of changing environment, tinatanggal na natin yan. Mga policy na ganun. In fact, sa PMA dati, may policy lang, Philippine Military Academy, dati may policy sila na lalaki lang dapat. But they changed the policy. Meron mga babaeng, may mga babaeng applicant na sa PMA. Alright? O dati, policy, dapat ikaw ay, dapat ay graduate ang certain course. Ngayon, uso lang yung multitasking. Pag nag-apply ka sa isang company, you expect na hindi lang isang task, ang yung gagawin. Uso lang multitasking ngayon. Pwedeng ikaw ay assign sa department o pwede ka rin assign sa finance, marketing. Okay? Kung taga-IT ka dati, ngayon pwede ka nang assign sa accounting department because of multitasking. Okay? Kumbaga, hindi lang isang dapat mong alam, dapat mong alam na skills, or task. Dapat binabago na natin yan. Yan, that is about policy sa hiring sa mga natin, sa mga HR. So pag ikaw yung negosyante, yung policy mo ay i-review mo once in a while kung is it still valid or relevant. Kung hindi na masyado, you can modify or alter your policy depending on the business environment. Yan. Pabago-bago yan eh. Okay. And moving on, let's go to the next one. The sixth importance of business policy. Kung bakit maganda na meron kang ginagawang policy. Number 6, economical and efficient. Ito napaka-given to, ito yung purpose natin talaga kung bakit meron kang policy, Okay, first sentence. Policy enables the management to carry out its operations effectively and efficiently. Yan ang purpose ng kwan, Kaya lahat ng department ay mayroong mga kanya-kanyang policy para lahat ng ginagawa nila, is nakatumbok. Limang department, nakatumbok ang kanilang ginagawa sa overall strategic management, strategic plan ng buong company. And I bet, na lahat ng strategic plan ng isang company, isa lang ang bottom line yan. Okay? To have profitable operation sa loob ng isang company. Okay? Wait lang guys, I'm just answering a text. Okay? So to have an effective, efficient operation, that is the bottom line. Lahat ng ginagawa ng department, kaya mayroon silang policy, isa lang tinutumbok so that they can contribute to the overall strategic plan ng company na magkaroon ng isang profitable operation. And maging profitable ka kung efficient and effective ang ginagawang operation sa loob ng isang company. Alright. Now, for example, policy ng company, overall, increase in net profit for the next 5 years. That is strategic plan. Okay, that is very broad, no? Then how can you contribute? Okay, now the HR department can create policy about cost cutting. Pag cost cutting, pag mababa ang ating mga gastos, naturally, ang ating net income ay pataas na. O naglabas ang policy ng HR, every lunch break or 8 to 8:30 ng umaga, wala mo nang mag-aircon. Cost cutting, okay? Before 5 o'clock, let's say 30 minutes before 5 o'clock, i-off natin lahat ng aircon. That is cost cutting, na? That is policy. Okay? The purpose is efficient utilization ng mga machinery sa loob ng isang company. Yan, that is part. No? And another one, efficient utilization naman ng manpower. Yung proper scheduling. Example, meron policy yung HR na shifting mode. Hindi muna lahat ay papasok. Okay? Hatiin natin yung manpower. May papasok ng 7 to 4, may papasok ng 9 to 6 for example, no? Okay? So shifting para mabawasan yung gamit sa loob. Hindi naman, may mga time naman na hindi masyadong maraming tao, so dapat shifting yung ginagawa. Okay? And another example, policy naman about paggamit ng mga machinery sa loob ng company. Okay? Naglalabas ka ng mga policy when to turn off yung mga gamit, di ba? Proper maintenance. Example, bawat month merong maintenance sa mga machinery. Okay? Para efficient yung paggamit, yung takbo, no, ng mga makina sa loob ng company. Yan. Efficiency. The overall goal, yan naman talaga ang malaking goal no, ng mga companies ng negosyo nyo, to contribute to the overall goal of the company to have profitable operation. Okay. And the next one, meron tayong number 7, importance. Okay, so Number 7, coordination of efforts within the company. Policies ensure coordination of efforts and activities at different levels in the organization. O sabi ko kanina, may overall strategic plan yung company at lahat ng department ay should contribute to that overall plan ng company to become profitable. So lahat daw ng department, marketing, finance, accounting, sales, IT, research, production, HR, no? Lahat sila dapat ay synchronized. Okay? Dapat nag-uusap-usap yan. Kaya nga ang pa-meeting, mayroong pa-meeting palagi kasama lahat ng department heads. Kasi dapat synchronize ang paggamit, no? Example, sabi ng accounting, for us to have a good cost-cutting strategy para maging profitable overall yung ating company, ang mga machinery natin should be properly maintained, no? Or dapat meron silang guidelines or SOP or manual how to use properly yung mga equipment. Yan ang sabi ng accounting kasi ang accounting nagbabayad ng maintenance, ng mga asset, ng equipment, ng repair ng lahat ng company. So dapat kasama din dyan yung production department na gumagamit ng mga machinery na yan. Diba? Hindi natin pwedeng accounting lang. Hindi maintain ng accounting yung production. Hindi na maintain ng production yung accounting. So dapat nag-uusap yan. Okay? Another example. Pagdating sa pera, ang nagpapasweldo, ang nagpapaluwal ng pera ay yung accounting, siyempre, no? Pero nagko-compute ng payroll ay yung HR department. Tapos binibigay sa accounting para bayaran, no, yung sweldo. Okay? Pagdating sa payroll, siyempre, siya na magtatrabaho yung mga marketing department, di ba? So dapat yung marketing na gumagawa na nagtatrabaho na sinisweldohan ay dapat makipag-meeting sa HR, makipag-meeting sa accounting department. Kasi pag marketing, hindi nila hawak yung pera. Okay? Overtime na ng overtime ng mga yan. Commission ng commission lang mga yan. Okay? Eh, minsan nagreklamo, hindi binayaran ang accounting. Sabi ng accounting, kasi hindi naman na-compute ng payroll department. Okay? So, dapat to have cost cutting sa payroll or mga sweldo, dapat nag-uusap ng tatlong department na yan. Yan sinasabi natin, ensure coordination of efforts and activities. Pag mayroong cost cutting policy, yung tatlong department ay matataranta or anong tawag sa Tagalog yan, matataranta or madidistorbo dapat sila, no? Dapat ay nag-usap-usap talaga silang tatlo. Hindi lang isang department, hindi lang bayad ng cost cutting ng salary ng isang accounting, dapat inaalam din sa HR at dun sa mga marketing department, no, na sinasweldohan nila. Ayan, so proper coordination of effort ang ginagawa. Alright, and the last importance of business policy, the high moral effect of business policy sa ating mga business, no? Okay, so basahin natin. A well-crafted policy can raise overall morale of an enterprise. Okay, sabi ko, yung isang epekto kanina, di ba? If you know that you are being allowed to create or formulate your policy, motivated ka, mataas ang moral, no? Pag alam nilang may trust sa yung company, ikaw kasi pinapagawa ng policy, or you are being allowed, you're given the right, no, to create your own policy, yung moral ay mataas. Kasi wow, meron kaming right to formulate, no, policy for our own department. Hindi kami dinidiktahan. So parang mataas yung pagtingin mo sa sarili mo, di ba? That is a moral booster para sa'yo. Okay? So policy enables the managers to understand the intention of the management. So isa pang dito, no? Sabi ko kanina, no, the policy is a communication from the higher ups of the company down to the different managers, to the different supervisors, to the different employees of the company. So nagkakaintindihan, no? Naintindihan ng manager yung saan nanggagaling yung owner, kasi alam nila yung gustong mangyari ng owner by just reading the policy of the company. Pag binabasa mo yan, that is the word of the CEO. That is the word of the owner, yung mga policy binibigay sa atin. Kasi hindi naman laging kakausapin tayo na may-ari, di ba? So that is their way of telling us, ito ang gusto ng company. So read our business policy. Right? Pag binasa mo yon, you understand now the intention of the management. At lahat kayo, no? Kung ikaw ay may-ari ng isang company, so talagang that is a given, no? Na you take your time to write a policy, no? Na printed, and you give all copies to all your employees, no? Para nakipag-uusap ka sa kanila. Pag mayroon silang hawak na kopya, you are telling them, no, anong gusto ng company. You are conversing with them. Pag may hawak-hawak silang kopya. Okay? So, mas maganda yung mayroon silang hawak na policy or na sunod-sunod. Kasi yung manghuhula sila kung anong dapat gawin sa isang certain situation, or ano maging epekto sa kanila, or anong punishment, for example, ang kanilang tatanggapin. Walang hula-hula, no? Pag nagkamali ka, right away, right there and then, alam mo yung maging consequence ng iyong ginawang mali. For example, kasi nabasa mo yung policy. So, walang personalan dito, no? Yung policy ay it applies to all. Kung punishment man or reward, it applies to all. Walang sinisingle out. So, pag siningil out ka kasi, pag iba yung interpretation ng policy. So, pampababa ng moral yun. Bakit ikaw ay parang pinipersonal? Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, yung nag-implement ng policy should be blindfolded. Ibig sabihin, walang tinitingnan yung nag-implement ng policy, yung libro, yung batas, no? Kumbaga, magpaparusa sa'yo, paano siya magre-reward sa'yo, yung manual, yung policy. Hindi yung tao. Yung tao siguro taga-basa lang, pero yung policy, nagbe-base sa policy. Kung anong gagawin sa isang example, absenteeism or tardiness. Yan, so magandang meron kang ganun, no? Para hindi ka, you will not feel bad, no, na ikaw ay sinisingle out. Okay guys, ito yung ating mga kwan. Those are the importance ng business policy. So pinakita natin dito sa ating lesson now yung 8 importance kung bakit it is really a given o record talaga na meron kang policy na sinusunod, no, sa loob ng yung company. Printed, sometimes we call that the employee manual. Sabi ko di ba, maraming klase ng policy ang pwedeng sundin, no? Pag yun ay policy ng HR, so we can call that the employee's manual. Pag yun ay policy naman ng production department, meron silang SOP or standard operating procedure na kanilang mga sinusunod. Yung accounting, meron din policy yan. Marketing, meron din sariling policy yan, no? IT, meron din. So, sabi ko kanina, lahat ng functional department ng company ay meron dapat na business policy kasi yun ang rules na sinusunod sa loob ng isang company. Mas maganda yung meron kang rules na sinusunod through a manual kesa nangangapa. Hindi mo alam ang gagawin in a certain situation. Pero pag meron kang policy na printed, talagang you are assured na meron kang pupuntahan, meron kang base to decide para sa iyong company. Ayun. Yung ating mga importance. Okay, so I hope that you got something from this lesson, guys, that you can apply to your business. So once again, this has been Dr. Cortez signing off. Until next time, guys, ating mga susunod na mga lessons. Okay, Dr. Cortez signing off. See you around, guys. Thank you.
And to subscribe naman ako, guys, sa aking munting channel, Doc Oliver the Great TV, at yung aking isa pang channel, Doc Negosyo. Thank you!